Two of the region's top 360 sprint car series share the track again. How's everybody doing? I'm Jay Elson, and this is Midco Motorsports. After two thrilling runs at Jackson Motorplex in the past month, the MSTS and Midwest Power Series hope to make a little more magic Saturday when they reconvene for a special event at I-90 Speedway. That recap is this week's A Feature.
Another big crowd lined the hillside in Hartford to see a show that drew a total of 115 cars across 5 divisions. 20 of those started the night's hobby stock feature, including Nick Brady, who was looking to end a long drought at I-90. The Sioux Falls native gave himself a shot by moving from 6th to 1st over the first couple of laps. The question was, could he hang on? It didn't look good with 7 to go. Tracy Haluska muscles past him in turn 4, but the caution flag flew first, so Brady got bumped back to the front for the restart. Fast forward to the green-white checkered finish now. Brady and Haluska still battling, with the 86 doing all it can to make the pass. Brady, though, refused to let this one get away. His first ever hobby stock win at I-90 earns him his first trip to victory lane in Hartford since 2008. John Kaiser showed the way early in the B-Mod feature, but he'd get lots of company off a restart. 3 wide with Tyler Myers and Nick Barger on the backstretch, and it's Myers, who started 10th, that eventually surges ahead. Not much of a contest after that. Tyler Myers leads the last 12 laps en route to his second straight win at I-90, and has now finished first or second in each of his last 9 starts overall. Corey Yai hasn't had anywhere near the right luck for that kind of run in the late model street stocks, although it looked like he might have things headed in the right direction Saturday. Yai, who started 6th, drove away from the field after passing pole setter Billy Prouty for the lead. But things went haywire with 2 to go. Not only did an ill-timed caution kill Yai's momentum, it also ended up killing his night. A transmission issue forced Yai to pull off the track under yellow, saddling him with his 5th DNF of the season. That gave the lead back to Prouty for the green-white checkered finish, but it was actually Craig Hanisch that took advantage. The 45 slides ahead of Prouty and Zach Olivier on the restart and goes on to record his 53rd career victory in Hartford. That's tops all time. Micah Slendy had been knocking on victory lane's door for quite a while in the IMCA sprint car division. The former quad racer had a streak of 6 straight top 10 finishes coming into the night, and things got better. The 8 car was all over pole setter Taylor Ryan from the onset, and that pressure eventually got to the driver of the 77. Watch the bobble right here. That was Slendy's shot, and he made it count. Micah Slendy led just 3 laps in this race, but it was good enough to get him his first ever win at I-90. That took them to the main event, 25 laps for the MSTS and Midwest Power Series 360 sprints. Ryan Bickett, fresh off his win the previous week, would lead that $2,000 feature to green, and he would keep the 17B out front for the first 5 laps. But Jack Dover has owned I-90, and this night would be no different. The Springfield, Nebraska native shot from 5th to 2nd in a heartbeat before besting Bickett on lap 6. And that was all she wrote. Dover runs away for yet another win, giving him 6 between the MSTS and Midwest Power Series this season.
It kind of fits my style. It's like my home track, Eagle Raceway. It's 3/8 and it's kind of high bank like this. Actually, Eagle back home is more banked than this. So we pretty much come here with the same setup as we do at Eagle Raceway. And I don't know, I've just had a lot of good luck here, and I hope it continues. I mean, it's always fun. I mean, I think we've ran, this is I think our 17th night this year, and we've been in the top 10, 16 of those nights. And I think 10 of those nights we've been in the top 5 or top 3. So, I mean, it's just been an awesome year, and hopefully we can keep building a good program out of it and go into Nationals next week pretty strong.
Well, it hasn't mattered where he's raced this season. Dustin Gulbranson has been at or near the front. We'll break down just how good things have been for the 6 car after this.
Midco Motorsports on Midco Sports Network is presented by Dacotah Speedway.
Dustin Gulbranson has been as automatic as it gets in 2020. Over his first 27 starts this season, the Sioux Falls native finished in the top 5 25 times, with 15 of those runs ending in victory lane. Friday, Gulbranson, who's currently on track for his 6th USRA National Championship, looked to keep things rolling at Rapid Speedway.
Gulbranson's trademark 6-car rolled out 11th for the feature, leaving him with plenty of work to do. But that was no big deal for him. Gulbranson already up to 3rd when Doug Brinkhouse led the field back to green on a restart, and he climbs another spot there. Most guys were riding the high side Friday, but Gulbranson able to make the bottom work for him, and he eventually rides that line past Brinkhouse for the lead. Tyler Schlumbum did his best to keep the pressure on after that, but no one was catching Gulbranson. He does it again, notching win number 6 at Rocky, which also moved him past Schlumbum for the lead in the points. More usual suspects in the USRA stock car feature, with points leader Colton Ahrens driving from 4th to 1st on the start. But the guy who's been hardest to hold off this season started to make his move a short time later. Dustin Larson gets around Darren Cordles for 2nd and then starts to reel in Ahrens. He'd catch him on the next restart. Larson charges past on the outside, and he would never look back. Larson's 5th win in Rock Rapids pulled him within 2 points of Ahrens in the standings. Moving south to Knoxville now, where they celebrated Christmas in July on Saturday. 3 laps into the 360 feature, defending track champ Carson McCarl gets by Joe Beaver for the lead. A lot of starting and stopping after that, but McCarl holds on through 5 restarts to pick up his 2nd win of 2020, and he sealed it with a kiss. Carson's brother Austin hoped to follow suit in the 410 main event, and there he is. McCarl drives around Ian Madsen for the lead on lap 2. But someone wanted this one more. Check out the maneuver here from Aaron Reitzel. The 87 pulls off a daring 3-wide pass to take over the top spot, and there would be 0 drama after that. Aaron Reitzel leads the final 16 circuits to claim his 2nd win of the year at Knoxville.
Well, July has been awfully kind to Jade Hastings. We'll check in on his quest for a 4th straight NOSA win when we come back. And welcome back. Well, Jade Hastings has dominated much of the month of July on the NOSA Sprint Circuit, scoring consecutive wins at Devil's Lake, Red River Valley, and River Cities. Friday, Hastings, whose recent run has vaulted him to the top of the series standings, looked to stay hot in Grand Forks.
Who knows, if Hastings keeps it up, he might one day join these men in the River City Speedway Hall of Fame. Another guy who's enjoyed a lot of success at the legendary Bull Ring is Wissota Street Stocks driver Ryan Johnson. He had the 25 out front with 10 to go when the 35 of John Halverson headed for the showers. Halverson into the water barrels off turn 4, and that was it for him. That just delayed a result that seemed pretty well settled. Win number 2 for Johnson on the year comes in wire-to-wire fashion. To the Midwest Modifieds, good battle early between the 57 of Nathan Rasaka and Jamie Dietzler in the 39. The two are neck and neck until Dietzler makes the pass in turn 3. Rasaka actually fell back to 3rd there, leaving Dietzler to duke it out with Lance Schill. That bout ended on lap 13 as Schill slides off the track in turn 2. Dietzler would control things from that point forward as he goes on to join Schill as the division's only multi-time winners at River Cities this season. The NOSA Sprints rolled out next, and this one was choppy from the start. Zach Amdahl walked away from this lap 1 wreck under his own power, but his night was done. Unfortunately, that was a sign of things to come as 3 more drivers ended up exiting early. When they did get to race, it was all Austin Pierce. The guy who experienced a bad wreck himself just 1 week prior rebounds to collect his 5th win of the year in Grand Forks.
A lot of times your tires will cool off under them red flags, then your car is completely different on the next restart. So it's nice when you can get lap after lap in, because then you really start to figure out your car and kind of where your marks are going to be.
With weather closing in quickly, the late models had to hustle to get their feature in before the storm, and Dustin Strand was happy to help. What had already been an exceptional month for the 71 car got even better Friday as Strand makes great use of his #1 starting spot. No issues whatsoever as he rolls to a 3rd straight win at River Cities.
The launch of Jordan Adams' racing career centered around a lawn tractor. You heard that right. Brian Shawn will share the story behind it next. Growing up on a farm in Reynolds, North Dakota, Jordan Adams had a dream of racing a sprint car. Little did he know that day would come when he was just a freshman in high school, thanks to support from his parents. Brian Shawn has more on the Adams family.
The family that races together stays together.
Definitely a family-oriented team, which is really nice. Yeah, it's great to have such great support from them.
I guess our motto is we farm hard and play harder. So when the farming gets done, we go racing and have a good time.
Jordan Adams' career in the car started 8 years ago when he was just 14 years old, but it wasn't exactly planned out.
We were out to eat for Mother's Day. Went to go look at a garden tractor.
We test drove the garden tractor and thought it was nice, and our buddy Shane said, you know, I got this sprint car for sale too, so we went and looked at that, of course.
We came home with the sprint car, and to this day my mom still doesn't have that garden tractor.
So the Adams had to start a racing team from scratch, but did have some experience to lean on.
I've been around sprint car racing since 1979, I think it was. Mike Dobmeyer bought a sprint car, and I sat in the stands a few nights and couldn't take that anymore, so I was down on his pit crew actually for quite a few years. So I did know quite a bit about it when we went into this.
So when we first started, we had Ethan Thompson. He worked with Mark Dobmeyer for many years. Kind of took a break there for a while from all the traveling, and he kind of got us pointed in the right direction. And really thankful to have him, otherwise I don't know where we would be today.
Adams took some lumps along the way and faced plenty of adversity on and off the track. In just his 2nd season behind the wheel, his mom Cindy was diagnosed with ovarian cancer.
My mom, she helped buy half of my first car, or she probably could have bought that garden tractor, but something you never wish you have to go through, but it's life, and you know, she's still in remission today, so it's worked out better than it ever could have, I guess.
Jordan won his first race at Greenbush Race Park in 2014 and followed it up with another in 2017 at Jamestown. He's also finished top 5 in the Northern Outlaw Sprint Association point standings over the last few years.
Never stop learning with the sprint car. That's one thing I've learned. If you do stop learning, your head's probably not into it as much as it should be.
You know, the first year I was pretty nervous every time you hit the track. And it takes a while to get over that and you know, take some deep breaths and work through that.
I feel a lot more comfortable going into my 8th year where we're at right now than where we were going out as a rookie or the 2nd or even 3rd year. So it's changed.
But the time will soon come to take the foot off the gas a little bit and focus on some other things.
You got to take a step back and see reality sometimes. Obviously my dream was to race a 410 car, and we did that, and I felt most nights we were a competitive team. Your life is pretty much taken up by it. I've missed a lot of family things that you can't get back, but not saying I regret that, but moving forward sometime in the near future, I'll run a more limited schedule whenever that'll be.
Now, Adams currently sits 7th in the NOSA point standings and will hit the track for the 2-day North Dakota Governor's Cup event at Dacotah Speedway this weekend. Well, that event will also include a special appearance from former NASCAR driver Kenny Wallace, who says he's in it to win it. We'll catch up with him when Midco Motorsports rolls on.
Midco Motorsports on Midco Sports Network is presented by Dacotah Speedway.
The Governor's Cup is one of the biggest racing events of the season in North Dakota, and this year a special guest is making his way north to be part of it. NASCAR veteran Kenny Wallace has been racing on dirt tracks since he hopped into his dad's street stock all the way back in 1982, and he'll be a big part of this week's festivities both on and off the track. Brian Shawn had a chance to catch up with Wallace for this week's Inside Track, which is presented by Dacotah Speedway.
All right, after 25 years racing on NASCAR circuits, Kenny Wallace pleased to join us here on Midco Motorsports and now spending his retirement dirt track racing. And Kenny coming to town for the annual North Dakota Governor's Cup event in Mandan. And Kenny, we're excited to have you come out. How are things out in St. Louis?
Well, everything's going good here in St. Louis. I'm really excited to come out to the Governor's Cup in North Dakota and race with some race car drivers that I've never met before and I've never raced with. But to answer your question, why do I still race when my NASCAR career is over, my professional career? I love racing. You know, it is my fishing, it is my golf game, it is my hunting game. And I once told my wife, Kim, I said, Kim, I think I'm going to quit racing. She says, no, you will not quit until our grandbabies get to watch you race. So last week we won a big race and two of the grandbabies were there. So we're having a good time racing still.
Have you ever been to North Dakota before? I know your brother Rusty was here a couple of years ago. I had a chance to interview him, but I think this may be your first time here, right?
It could be, but I mean, we have raced a little bit over North and South Dakota. I've been to Houston, I've been to Park Jefferson, you know, a handful of tracks. I literally have raced over hundreds of dirt tracks over the last 15 or 20 years. So, but I do love North and South Dakota. I have traveled through there and really looking forward to coming, very soon.
All right, absolutely. And Kenny, you are such a people person. You love getting out, seeing fans. You have so much energy. I'm guessing that has made the last 4 or 5 months in particular for you extremely difficult, right?
Brutal. This this coronavirus is very disruptive and not conducive to my lifestyle because I do like people. I like going to lunch. I like going to movie theaters. I like watching my baseball Cardinals and my St. Louis Blues hockey team. So everything that this coronavirus has ruined has really messed my lifestyle up. But, luckily these racetracks, these dirt tracks are still racing. They've figured a way out, and that has really saved me.
Absolutely. And I think for you coming from a racing family, and you've been around it your entire life, whether it's been Rusty, Steve, your dad, Russ, was a really talented driver. What's it been like to grow up in a racing family?
You know, what's crazy is growing up in a racing family, you don't know you're growing up in a racing family because I'm born into it, right? And that's all I knew. Later on in life, I looked back at how I grew up, and I am the luckiest. I'm the luckiest because, we spent our nights in the garage, and my dad, Russ, was the inventor of racing for our family. And my brother Rusty and Mike were great mechanics, and everything got handed on down. And here I am, the youngest of three brothers. And, I wouldn't change my childhood for anything. I ran the creeks still. I rode my Huffy bicycle but I raced go-karts, and I am your all-American redneck kid. And I'm proud of it because I had a really good time.
Absolutely. And a chance for the fans to come out and see you on Friday, July 31st at the stage stop from 3:30 to 5. And also the next day on Saturday, August 1st from 1 to 4 over at Bennigan's. Do you still really enjoy getting a chance to meet fans face to face? Because I know for them, they don't get an opportunity to see a lot of NASCAR drivers around here.
I like people. I know there's a lot of people out there. They're like, I don't like people, but I like people. So come on out to North Dakota Speedway, and I'll be racing to try to win. but I'll also be meeting with the fans, and we'll be having a really good time. It's a great getaway, you know, from all this drama that's going on right now in the United States. A lot of people are looking for something to do, and so I'm excited about that.
All right, man. How you feeling about your Cardinals, this 60-game schedule? You feeling all right about it?
Well, you know, listen, I just realized it's only 60 games, but it's only 30 games here at home. So that's going to be a little different, only watching. It's like it's going to be started and over before you know it.
All right, man. Well, we appreciate you taking a few minutes with us, and we're excited to have you out. Safe travels up here to North Dakota.
Thanks for having me on. See you soon.
The doubleheader this weekend will feature full racing programs both Friday and Saturday nights with multiple classes. Admission is $20 for adults, while kids 12 and under can enjoy those shows for free. Well, that is our time for this week. For Brian, Shawn, our producer Levi Vander Whitey, and the rest of our crew, I'm Jay Elson. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here next Wednesday night for another episode of Midco Motorsports.